It's all covered in today's China Truths.
This summer, relentless rainstorms have battered southern China, pushing the Yangtze River to dangerous levels. The mighty Three Gorges Dam, once hailed as China's engineering miracle, began showing troubling signs. Old cracks resurfaced, and new fractures appeared under the extreme pressure. These structural concerns sent waves of fear through local authorities who knew that even the smallest failure could trigger an unimaginable catastrophe. Faced with mounting risk, the government made a critical choice: to protect the dam at all costs. Massive flood discharges were ordered, unleashing torrents downstream with unstoppable force. Millions of residents living below had no choice but to face the floodwaters head-on. Entire villages and towns stood directly in the path of the raging current. Within hours, homes, streets, and memories were swallowed by the river. The dam's flood release, combined with record-breaking rainfall, turned disaster into devastation. Thousands of villages were submerged, leaving rooftops as the only refuge. Once bustling cities disappeared under muddy waves, where cars floated like toys and marketplaces turned into lakes. Families clung to each other on broken bridges, watching everything they owned sink beneath the water. Rescue boats rushed in, but the sheer scale of destruction made help feel like a drop in the ocean. Cries for aid echoed through the rain-soaked nights, only to be drowned out by the roar of the flood. Along with homes and farmland, countless lives were swept away in silence. Experts now warn that with heavy rains still pounding the region, more dam discharges are inevitable. For millions living downstream, each day begins in fear. Fear of another siren, another wall of water, another night without shelter. Beyond the human toll, the region's economy is collapsing under the weight of disaster. Farmland lies ruined, businesses destroyed, and infrastructure shattered beyond repair. The once celebrated Three Gorges Dam, once a symbol of pride, is now seen by many as a double-edged sword. Images of entire cities disappearing beneath red-brown rivers have shocked the world. And one haunting question remains: what if the dam itself ever fails? In the mountains of Guizhou, a silent paradise has turned into a nightmare. What you're about to see is not a movie scene, and it's not a simulation. It's real life, unfolding right now. Streets that once carried laughter and traffic are gone, buried under rivers of mud and stone. Whole neighborhoods vanished overnight, leaving only ruins, dust, and silence broken by the desperate scraping of shovels. This is Rongjiang, once alive with markets, schools, and families. Today, it looks like a battlefield. Except the enemy isn't human, it's nature itself. Roads have been torn apart, bridges snapped like twigs, cars lie crushed beneath the debris. The sound of children playing has been replaced by sirens, military trucks, and the cries of people searching for loved ones. The army has been deployed, not for war, but for survival, digging, clearing, and fighting against the weight of the earth itself. Within just days, Rongjiang was swallowed by waters climbing to historic levels, 25.6 meters high, the worst flood in nearly 70 years. A football stadium disappeared beneath 7 meters of water. Underground garages became traps of steel and water. Power grids collapsed, plunging thousands into darkness. And just when people thought it was over, the rain returned, striking again, flooding the very streets that had only just been cleared. 80,000 residents forced to flee. 6 lives lost here in Guizhou, and more than 9 across central and southern China. Families carrying nothing but what they could hold. Children wading through chest-high water with their parents. A city that once stood proud, now struggling just to breathe. Rescue efforts have been launched on a large scale, with teams sent into disaster zones and shelters hastily set up. Yet in many areas, cries for help still echo as people suffer from hunger and cold. Emergency supplies often fail to reach those in need, leaving families to fend for themselves with whatever they can salvage. Desperate residents climb onto rooftops, light fires in the rain, and struggle to survive day by day. In the absence of reliable aid, countless grassroots volunteers and independent charity groups have rushed into the flood-hit regions. Their hands-on support, bringing food, blankets, and medical care, has often proven far more effective than official rescue teams. For those trapped in the mud and water, Survival now depends less on government relief and more on the compassion of ordinary people. And here's the truth nobody wants to face. This disaster wasn't just born from heavy rain. Years of unchecked development, disappearing wetlands, and poor drainage planning have left Guizhou vulnerable, like a fortress without walls. Experts warn that this was not a one-time catastrophe. With climate change fueling stronger monsoon systems and tropical storms building in the South China Sea, this could just be the beginning. Now, as the floodwaters slowly pull back, the real damage is being revealed. Streets ripped open like scars, entire bridges erased from the map, cars stacked like toys in piles of mud. In some neighborhoods, it looks as if time itself has stopped. But here is where another story begins. In the mud, resilience rises. Families dig side by side, neighbors share food, strangers rescue strangers. Recovery will take years, maybe decades. Yet in the heart of devastation, something unshakable remains: the will to rebuild. Stay with us, because this isn't just about watching wreckage. This is about witnessing human strength in its rawest form. Rongjiang has fallen, but its people are already standing back up. And what they rebuild will tell the world not just a story of survival, but of transformation. Armed with nothing more than shovels, mops, and bare hands, the people of Guizhou are fighting to win back their hometown, inch by inch. Rongjiang County, once alive with schools, markets, and family gatherings, now looks like the aftermath of a war. Floods didn't just wash through this place, they crushed it, tearing apart everything in their path. Streets are no longer streets, but rivers of stone and mud. Vehicles are reduced to twisted metal, trapped beneath mountains of debris. Bridges that once connected lives and livelihoods have vanished, cutting off entire communities. What used to be thriving neighborhoods are now ghost towns, buried under layers of thick mud. Shops stand gutted, their shelves empty, their goods rotting. Families return to houses that no longer feel like homes, walls cracked, foundations broken, memories scattered across floodplains. The numbers are staggering. Over 80,000 people forced to abandon their homes. Emergency shelters are overflowing, with families crammed together under leaking roofs. Clean water is scarce, power failures are frequent, and medical supplies are stretched thin. The air is heavy with the smell of dampness and rot, and every cough or fever sparks fear of disease. Exhausted parents scour through wreckage hoping to recover a photo, a book, a piece of clothing, anything to remind them of what life was like before the water came. The military has arrived, but not with weapons of war. This time, their fight is against mud, rubble, and despair. Soldiers and civilians stand side by side, digging, sweeping, and clearing what the floods left behind. Yet the devastation is so immense that progress feels painfully slow. Entire roads need to be rebuilt, power lines restrung, water systems restored. Guizhou's economy, dependent on agriculture, small factories, and local trade, has been crippled overnight. Billions in damage, years of progress erased in days. For many families, the question is no longer when will we rebuild, but can we ever rebuild at all? And while the water has receded, the disaster has not ended. For tens of thousands, the true flood is only beginning. The flood of hardship, displacement, and loss. This is not just news footage. These are the lives of real people. Every broken bridge has a story. Every pile of mud hides someone's memories. Behind each collapsed home is a family trying desperately to hold on to hope. But here's where you come in. Awareness matters. Stories like these are more than headlines. They're calls to action. By sharing this, by talking about it, by refusing to look away, you amplify the voices of those who've lost everything. So don't just watch. Stand with them. Share their story. Support their fight. Because what they're rebuilding, brick by brick, isn't just a home, it's a future. This summer's floods are more than a disaster. They are a mirror. Half of China has been swallowed by raging waters, and entire provinces stand paralyzed beneath the weight of nature's fury. For countless families, it feels as if the ground itself has betrayed them, turning homes into graves and streets into rivers. In the face of such destruction, human strength seems fragile, almost powerless. It forces us to confront the truth. Against nature, we are small, vulnerable, and fleeting. But these waters are not only rain, they are a response, a reaction to decades of neglect and abuse. When rivers are dammed, forests cut, and wetlands erased, nature will one day rise and reclaim its course. And so the question must be asked, why has this tragedy struck with such unrelenting force? Was it only the monsoon, or was it also the hand of man that provoked it? For years, the Chinese Communist Party has built monuments to its own power, dams, towers, megacities, without listening to warnings of risk. Now, with millions drowning in fear and loss, those choices return like shadows. People look upon the floods and wonder if this is punishment, not by heaven, but by the earth itself. The collapse of villages and the suffering of innocents reveal a painful truth. The party's arrogance has weakened the land it rules. And when nature rises, even empires can be washed away. Thank you for watching our video. China Truths is where you'll find the latest and most reliable updates. If you found this content valuable, please remember to like and subscribe. Your support means a lot and helps us continue bringing you new stories. See you again in the next video.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.